Welcome back. Now, Justina Ipumbu is a teacher at a local school in Okasheshete Village, situated in the Omusati Region. She serves a community of San, Zemba, Himba, and Ndongona people. These are families who are resilient but face significant marginalization. The children in those communities face immense barriers to education, with many commuting over 17 kilometers on foot just to reach the classroom. Moved by their struggle, Justina took the initiative to establish a local hostel to provide shelter and stability for the children. She now joins us online. Good morning, Justina, and welcome to NAMIBIA Connects. Justina, can you hear me?
The volume is a little bit too low. Like, I can't really hear you.
Okay.
Like, you're a little bit too...
Okay, can you hear me now? Is it much better?
Not yet. I think again.
Can you hear me? Is it much better now?
A little better, but I think...
All right. Good morning to you, and thank you so much for taking time to be with us here on NAMIBIA Connects. Justina?
Yes, sir?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. If
Okay.
I really pay attention, but the volume, the sound is still a little bit too low.
Okay. So, can you describe your daily experiences teaching at the local school in Okasheshete, and what inspired you to start the hostel for these children?
Okay, good morning. Well, my daily experiences sometimes are full of joy, but then in most cases heartbreaking. Especially when I first started working, it was like an unusual thing for me to witness kids coming almost late each and every day. Either they are barefoot, and then when they come in class, they are sleeping, and their complaints are almost always, the kids are always hungry, or they'll tell you that no, they woke up around 4 o'clock in the morning just to walk to school every morning. And most of those kids actually walk either less or more than 17 kilometers every day to school. And in most cases, these kids will come, like my mornings are always things where the kids come to school exhausted, sleeping, crying. Either the child is hungry or the child is just restless because of those long walks every morning. And also just to get to the classroom from 4. It's just, especially for a 7-year-old, because I'm a junior primary teacher, a 7-year-old, 8 or 9-year-old walking more than 10 kilometers a day to school. It's just heartbreaking for me. And that's why I came up with an initiative to just see how I can help them, because it was draining. No matter how much I taught, a child who is physically drained and hungry cannot learn. And I saw a brilliant kids of those communities, the San, the Zemba, dropping out of school. And it's like it's becoming a stagnation, because those kids, if you follow up on their background, most of these kids just either dropped out and then they sent into parents, and they're the same parents that will attend parents meetings that we are attending to. And if you follow up on their background, they either dropped out in grade 3, grade 4. And in most of those cases, it's poverty, long distances, lack of food at home. Because as a grade 3 teacher, every week you'll experience a child crying, or the child can't even do anything in class because they are hungry. So you are forced to either give them something. Regardless of the food program, the software that is being served at school, in most cases, this is the only meal for most of our kids that they are having on that day. If they are lucky, they'll find something at home, but in most cases, if you ask a child, they will tell you they haven't eaten even in 2 days. And that's what also inspired me to try and have a soup kitchen from next year. Because I've been a teacher for 8 years, and this has been really affecting me, and it made me kind of useless as a teacher, because our performance grades are not even improving. No matter how much you teach, a hungry child, an exhausted child will not grasp anything in class.
So, Justina, it's really good to hear that you have such a heart for these children, and I'm sure that they are benefiting from that. But I would like to know, take us through the process of what it takes to maintain something like this. What resources you put in, and what challenges did you go through, and how did you overcome them?
Yeah, it's quite a journey. I can't even explain it. Actually, I'm self-funding myself for this project. I've actually started constructing a structure that accommodates boys and girls, like 2 buildings, and I've set up a few beds where we on the, when you're financing yourself, it's not easy because every month you need to sacrifice something for the city, and the process is steady, it's slow, but we are moving forward. So I can't it even gets emotional sometimes, because sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm going through all this. Is it worth it? All the sacrifice, all the effort for the kids, for the love of kids. It's entirely me funding myself. And for the soup kitchen, I would also just love to appreciate a farmer from Etunda, Etunda, Miss Elizabeth Nakale, from Emma Farm Produce, who also offered to supply us with fresh vegetables for the soup kitchen that I'll only be hosting serving it at least once in a week, because that's all I can afford. Because literally I'm funding the soup kitchen from my head as well, just to help the kids. At least after school, they get to pass by the hostel, grab their soup pack, and just go home. And then I'm also praying that hopefully it will continue. Somebody will get assistance from somewhere, and then you'll be able to serve the kids from Monday to Friday.
How many children does the current or the hostel currently accommodate, and what facilities does it provide for their shelter and stability? Also, how do the unique cultural backgrounds of the San Zemba, Himba, and Ndongona families influence the challenges faced by their children in accessing education?
Okay. Currently, last year we had 6 children, because that's how much you can, the capacity of how many kids you can accommodate. But then this year we've increased to 14, whereby 2 of the 14 are the ones that I've taken up in my care, smart kids from the struggling families that I've taken up, that I will, they're actually my responsibility. And yeah, it's something new. It's not usual for them. We're really trying to explain to them, and I'm in a community. I'm sitting in a community where civilization is far from them. Like, apart from the bushes and the surrounding, they've never even been to the city. So it's very difficult to actually get those parents to understand that they are grateful. Even the headman is grateful. Those that understand, because it really gets hard, especially during rainy season. You won't even find kids in class sometimes. It's either you'll be lucky to have half a class, and mostly when the elephants reappear, you might not even get any of the kids in class, because these kids wake up very early, and then the fear of elephants, they make them not to come to school. And then when there's no food at home also, like I have a school dropout last year, and this year as well. Let me say, every year I have one learner from my grade 6 class dropping out. And the reason they'll tell you, no, there's no food. Why should I come to school if I'm hungry? So all those factors actually touch me. And I don't know. I'm actually very emotional. I'm sorry.
We understand.
And we also have this of our teenage pregnancy, like our girls actually also just fall into victims of teenage pregnancy because they are being manipulated, especially those farm workers. They manipulate these innocent girls with money, with food. They offer them things that they're not used to. And last year alone, we had like 7 cases of teenage pregnancy. And who knows, I won't be surprised if this year we come back to school and we have more cases already at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Now, Justina, how has the hostel changed the attendance and performance for these children?
I can testify on one, like one of our learners at the hostel, which is from the community. She was actually rated as a poorly performing child, whereby even all the teachers like gave up on her. But that child literally impressed us. And it shows that our kids are not hard-headed. They're actually smart. They just need the support. They need a safe environment to study in. Because this child surprised us. In all previous years, this child was just transferred. And her report card was just full of you. But then last semester, from last year, the first semester, she actually just failed mathematics. And then the second semester, she actually passed, which was, and that's a surprise to most of us. I'm also surprised because this is even the parents once gave up on her, but she was like, okay, no, let me put her in your care and see what you can do. Because she actually also just gave up hope on her child. She felt like the child was down. But there's no doubt, and I believe that. Just because you don't have the resources and maybe the long distances when they go home, there's no enough support, they don't get assistance. And you know, most of those kids actually live with their parents. They are not educated either. They are taking care of themselves at home. When they reach home, it's dark. Nobody is there to help them with their homework. Nobody is there to push them and motivate them to study. But I'm so proud of this one girl. Like, she really showed us that there is hope. And I'm sure a lot of parents can relate on that child because everyone is just looking at her to see if she will make it or not. That is, it was worth it.
Yeah. Now, what are your biggest ongoing needs, like funding or partnerships, to sustain and expand the hostel?
Wow, my biggest ongoing need is we still have a long way to go. We need to establish a proper dining hall, a kitchen, and toilets, flushing toilets and showers. Another long way, and also secure our fence completely because we still have animals that come through the fence, and some people can also still go through the fence and walk past, which is also not a little bit safe for our kids. And we need beds, mattresses, especially for the soup kitchen because I'm just starting it next year. We need bigger gas stoves and gas cylinders and bigger pots to serve at least close to 600 or 700 because that's how many kids our school holds. Because the soup kitchen is not just for the hostel kids, it's for the school learners. Because I want them to at least keep them in school, and then the rule for the soup kitchen will be only the person who attended school that day will have soup on that day. So, and the number of kids is immense, so I really need that support to get bigger pots, all kitchen equipment, even food. If there is anyone who's willing to donate us with food for us to kitchen, and any materials, any building materials, I would really welcome any investors that are willing to come forth or partnerships, anybody who's willing to come forth, whether it's people from the community themselves, I will appreciate because I would love it if this process speeds up in order to help our kids. But then doing it on my own, it's going to take me years and years of more of these kids still suffering.
Yeah. Now, lastly, how does this initiative fit into the broader efforts to improve education in remote, like on the Omusati region areas, where hostels are often a makeshift or flood-prone?
Okay, actually, this initiative is a call to action. Like, Omusati, we know that geography is often the biggest enemy of education. When hostels are just makeshift or flood-prone, it's also children that they are facing temporary. And by building a permanent structure, I'm trying to create a standard of dignity for our rural learners. And actually, those are the people that are connected mostly. And this project fits into the broader goal of inclusive education. You cannot say we are leaving no child behind. If children are still walking 17 kilometers in the dark, missing classes, quitting school because of hunger. When elephants reappear, they don't even turn up to school for months. And my husband is a model that shows that when we provide a stable environment, away from the threats of all those things that I've mentioned. And the exhaustion roads of performance will immediately improve. I've proven it with that one girl that I've spoken of, because she was rated as a failure. But then she proved that she's not. She just needed a safe place to stay and the right support. And I see this as a pilot project, and I want to show the ministry and potential investors and that a safe hostel is not just a luxury. It is a necessity for the survival of education in remote Namibia. We are not just building walls, we are building a bridge for the San, Zemba, and Himba community. The finally also has equal access to the Namibian dream. And that's why I'm inviting everyone listening, be it an investor or fellow Namibian, to help us finish this building so we can get our legal document and also to protect our child and get the kitchen going at least Monday to Friday, not just one day, since I'm funding it from my own pocket.
Thank you so much, Justina, for taking time to just, tell us about the initiative that you're busy with. And I'm sure the nation and everyone who sees and hears of this are really proud of you. So please don't give up and continue being a difference in those children's lives.
Thank you so much. I appreciate this platform, and I hope that good Samaritans and investors will really come through for us, because I never knew that people were really suffering until I came to that community. And I grew love of it, and I always keep telling myself that this community will not change me, but I will change it. And that is a slogan that keeps me going every day. Even though no matter how many times I'm advised to move, like to get a transfer to a different school, why do I like it in that town? It's so hard for people, those people that I'm suffering. And I'll still stick to my slogan, that community will not change me, but I will change it.
Thank you so much. Well, Namibia, that was a teacher, Justina Ipumbu, making a difference in the Okasheshete Village. Out of her own pockets, she took the initiative to help a child build a hostel to make it easier for them. One of the things she said that stood out is that no matter how bright the child is, if the child is hungry and tired, they can't learn.